Hello, everyone. I hope everybody is hanging in there and just kind of supporting each other. And the topic that I had today on Just Connect, many of us might be closing our businesses or just practicing social distancing, maybe getting tired of the kids being around, trying to pivot, trying to be creative. So that was some of the things that I wanted to talk about today on our show, Just Connect. For those of you who are just joining and you've never seen the show, my name is Dr. Natalie Phillips. I am host of Just Connect. I'm here every Monday at 5 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Today, I really want to kind of dive in about how we can support each other a little further during this social distancing, during everything that we're going through. Because the question remains, many of us are closing or many of us might be staying at home. And the question might be, how can I possibly support somebody else? When I'm thinking about my house, my home, things like that, my business, while I'm closing my doors and not making money. So I wanted to talk on that topic. Before we get there, I wanted to just remind people, if you are watching this on live, come say hello. I'd like to see you. I'd like you to be part of the conversation. If you are catching it on the replay, it will be here in Facebook as well as on my YouTube channel. When you go to my YouTube channel, you need to make sure that you subscribe to Dr. Natalie Phillips, hit the subscribe button, and then turn on your notifications. I do also have them categorized in playlists, so it's easier for you to find. If you just want to watch the Just Connect shows, you can just go to that playlist and watch the Just Connect shows. So we will be back with my topic as soon as we watch this intro video. So enjoy.
I'm Dr. Natalie Phillips, host of Just Connect. I am an audiologist, a business owner, an entrepreneur, and a connector. This life is about connecting for the right reasons and to the right people. I believe making authentic and true connections lead to growth, change, and impacting the world.
All right. So for those of you just joining, I'm Dr. Natalie Phillips. I'm host of Just Connect. And I thought this topic was really interesting because it's something that weighs heavily on my heart, that even though there are us that might be closing our doors or, trying to think about staff or, thinking about our family, I also want to have people turn out and look at what is going on with small businesses. We are all entrepreneurs, that have our own businesses, that might be trying to take care of ourselves, but I also want to bring light to how we can support each other. So a couple of facts here. One of the biggest assumptions is that small businesses make up a tiny portion of businesses in the US. And the truth of the matter is that it is 28.8 million small businesses are in the US, according to the Small Business Association, and 75% of them are non-employer based, but that leaves 5 million businesses with paid employees. And so, although we call this a pandemic, right? Although this is coming and it's undoubtedly affecting our economy, we can't stop it. And that's what this topic is about, is that I want us to think about how we can make a choice with our dollars to help the local economies and stay afloat and to give small businesses a chance. So, some of the possible options, first of all, that I wanted to talk about, because it is, this gets a little hard because some of them are just more proposed, but some of the options for small businesses right now is that there are disaster loans. There are, loans that have low interest that you can apply to at the Small Business Administration, so SBA loans. The disadvantages are that a lot of them are just proposed, and sometimes you get into some of these different like predatory lenders, right? Another possible option for small businesses out there is that the Families First Coronavirus Response Act was passed by the House, and it mandates employers with less than 500 employees to have paid leave and have tax credits. There are waivers for businesses that have employers or employers that have less than 50, but again, it's tax credits. Tax credits doesn't always equate to what you can give your staff, your employees right now. Another option would be income support and wage insurance. Again, tax credits, maybe delay tax payments, and then payment flexibility and forgiveness for periods for things like rent and for loans. And so there are all these different things that are out there for small businesses if you are looking into some of these things. But why is it so important to actually support the small business? And that's what I wanted to talk about. So those of you that are tuning in, one of the biggest things is that it's the multiplier effect. This is why number one. So when you shop local, your dollars will stay in the community and help the local community to develop. And this is called the multiplier effect. So this is one of the main reasons why we should be shopping local and supporting our small businesses in our own community. Another why that I came up with is that it helps sustain and create local job growth. So it does this in a couple of different ways. If you have like this deliberate focus to support the local businesses, it helps drive the appeal of the shopping area, right? And which then turns the dollars towards tourism. Maybe it helps out the hotel industry, attractions or tours. I did some research and I found that the New York Times reported this past Tuesday that industries that are most at risk of financial loss include restaurants and bars, hotels and lodging, performing arts, sports and museums, air transportation, amusement parks, gambling, and recreation. So, turning in and actually supporting local helps give back to the local community. It helps with sustainability. The other way is that when you give back to small businesses, it can create local jobs. So as of 2015, U.S. small businesses employed 57.9 million people, or 47.8% of the private workforce. A healthy presence of small businesses in these communities help to grow, on-the-job training, learning business skills, empowering the next generation of entrepreneurs. So that's something that is huge. Awesome. So I have Chris Lanfear. That's awesome. He posted the link in the comments to the disaster loans if you want to take out an SBA loan. So thank you, Chris, for putting that up. That's awesome. I'm so glad. So we kind of went over some of the different whys of why you should be supporting the small business right now. And then I want to now switch to how are we going to do this? Because that's the biggest question, is that it's not all financial. I've categorized some of these hows into financial ways that you can help support small businesses, and then also non-financial ways that you can help, because I think that it's important to look at both. It's not always about giving money. So first of all, we're going to cover the financial hows. Okay. So number one, and some of you might have already done this or thought of these. If you have other ways that you're doing this, please put it up in the comments, because I want people to learn from each other different ideas and different ways that we can actually support it. So now we've gone over the why, I'm going to go over the how. So financial how number one is buying gift cards. This at least allows you to support the business now, and you can always use it later. There are a lot of gift cards that you can use now, but it's something that I think that you can kind of consider buying gift cards, or even considering subscriptions. So don't, cancel any of your subscriptions. Again, I want you to focus on the small business. So maybe it's a gym subscription or membership to a local gym, right? Things like that. So buying gift cards, considering maybe your subscriptions as well. That's the financial how you can do it. Financial how number two is order out. We've done this for our company, where we've ordered lunches from local businesses. Find a list of restaurants that are still open, that are, your small businesses in your community. Order lunch for your staff, order dinner out. I had seen on a neighborhood app that somebody actually posted how they ordered cinnamon rolls from a local business, and they called ahead, paid over the phone by credit card. And when they went in, it was just sitting on the counter for them with their name. So there was no, distance between people that you had to worry about, and everything was ready to go. So share what you've done, because I think that we can all learn about how we can do this a little bit better. So order takeout, order delivery. Financial how number three is maybe tip a little more than you would have. I mean, just a little bit more actually goes a long way. You don't have to leave a $50 tip for a $10, delivery, but just a little more is going to help these small businesses more than you think that it will. So that's another financial how number three. Looking at the comments. Oh, awesome. Looks like Chris has put another spreadsheet up here as well. I don't know what that spreadsheet is for. It's a doc. It's a Google Doc. So go ahead and let me know what that's for, Chris. List of local Fort Collins businesses. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. So he has put up a list. So again, in the comments, just click on there. That's going to help out. That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So financial how number three was tip a little bit more. Financial how number four is shop local and maybe order supplies online. So what this means is, maybe these independent businesses that you're seeing online, there are ways that you can support them just by ordering online. You don't have to go into their store. It could be natural cleaning products. It could be organic skincare. It could be non-perishable food items, pet supplies, soaps, things like that from local online stores would be helpful. So think about that. That's another financial how. This was an interesting one when I actually did some research, is using your credit card or your debit card. And the only reason why I put this one in, because I thought it was really interesting, was that when you go in and you either pay for your groceries or for, the food that you've ordered to take out, they're asking, or they're telling us to use your credit card and your debit card, mostly for the reason so that the paper money that you're having does not spread germs or anything like that, because you can't really disinfect that, right? So hopefully, you'll remember to possibly use that credit card or the debit card only for the fact that paper money can actually transmit more things than we want to. So those are some of the financial hows of how you can support a small business. And now I want to talk about some of the non-financial hows, because these are just as important, especially if you are yourself a small business or an entrepreneur and you're like, there's no way that I can actually give out, to the community right now. But these are ways that you can still give back, but they're non-financial. Okay, so I love these. Number one is share your favorite stores in your social network. So many of the stores that are out there have their own Facebook page, have their own websites. Click on it, share it in your social networks and say, I miss shopping at this particular store because blah, blah, blah. Make it personal again, why you like that store. Maybe you know the owner. Maybe the last time you went in, you had a great experience. So share your favorite stores. Ask your friends to share stores, in your social networks. And that's going to be huge. Again, especially if they have an online like e-commerce site, where if you're linking that to their website and people that are watching or see your posts can actually link onto their website and purchase something, that's huge for them. That is a non-financial how. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. So share favorite stores in your social networks. I thought that was kind of cool. Second way would be reach out and ask for needs. Okay, so you can reach out to small businesses, you can reach out to nonprofits, ask for what they need, and then share that out. Help galvanize the help gather people up together and figure out how you can help them. Again, giving of your time is a non-financial commitment. My producer for my podcast, he was listening. I don't know if he's still on here, Chris. He actually had me reach out to a local nonprofit because we want to know how we can help, and then we're going to broadcast that on the air. So it's one of those things, again, a non-financial commitment. All we have to do is broadcast it, interview, broadcast. That's it. So that's what you can do, is just reach out and ask maybe small businesses or nonprofits how you can help. All right. A non-financial how number 3 is don't forget to be patient and say thank you. I had to make a payment online and I had to call it in. And man, their system was really, really slow today. But she came on 3 times and apologized profusely, saying that she couldn't get things set up and running. And I just sat there really patiently, so just remember to be patient. And then also when you're at the grocery store, for those grocery store workers or your healthcare, anybody that's there that wishes that they could be at home, don't forget to say thank you to them, because again, that goes a long way too. All right, non-financial how you can support small businesses. Number 4 is look out for your neighbors. So there's a couple of ways that you can do this. Number 1, there are a lot of neighborhood apps that are out there that people are sharing on. So jump on and share, jump on and figure out how you can help. Maybe it's, hey, I've got some extra toilet paper. If you need some and you're in my neighborhood, just ping me here because I'm happy to drop it off. Maybe you can reach out to the elderly people in your neighborhood too. Maybe you can ding dong ditch and put a little note on their door and say, hey, I know you can't get out. Do you need me to go shopping for you? Because they might not be on social media, right? So do you need me to go shopping for you? Here's my number. Whatever you want to do, ring the doorbell, or step back. Don't ding dong ditch, but just step back a little bit and then see if they answer and talk a little bit further of how you can actually help them. So neighborhood apps. Neighborhoods also have Facebook pages. Looking out for your neighbors is huge, because if you've got supplies to share, if you've got a great idea of how to do takeout, if you've got time and you can go shopping for other people who might not be able to, that's definitely a non-financial how you can help some of these small businesses. All right. Non-financial how number 5 is support and raise funds online. So I've done this with my kids. They did a concert for a local nonprofit because we wanted to support the performing arts. Like I read earlier, the New York Times said that, the performing arts are really suffering during this downtime. And so, just getting online, using your time, your talents, whatever it is, you can share out their posts. You can reach out to your news outlets. The news outlet here, KWGN in Denver, they are doing The Show Must Go On feature. And so they're featuring, all they're doing is using their platform, and they are sharing the performing arts to help that, push that out, especially for all the kids that got their musicals that they worked so hard for canceled because we can't watch them anymore. And so it's one of those things where all it takes is a share. All it takes is getting out there with your time, maybe your talent, putting something out there to help support somebody or one of those areas, small businesses that might not be able to help themselves. And so again, non-financial way to support and raise funds online. Sixth way is leave a review online. That goes a long way with small businesses. So it could be on Yelp, it could be on Facebook, it could be on Google My Business, whatever it is. Small businesses really rely heavily on this. And guess what, guys? We have so much free time. So write, a review for a business. Go on LinkedIn and start writing recommendations for the people that you've done business with. A lot of this stuff goes a long way. And we've always said that, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do all of this stuff. Guess what? We have so much time now. Put it to good use. Leave a review online. Seventh thing that I found is donate. Rather than throw things out, donate items that you don't need. If you've gone and you've actually hoarded and did a lot of the hoarding and got a lot of things, donate these items now to places that might need that help. Shelters, different things that you don't really need as much as you thought you did. It's time to donate those items. So donate those items. Don't throw them out. Donate them to your neighbors, whatever you can do. Make sure if you're donating anything, obviously, I don't know, not appliances, but anything like that, like to Goodwill or clothes, that it is thoroughly cleaned, obviously. But that's another way. And then the last thing with your time is you can spend time now calling your local legislators, helping them and encouraging them to pass some different things or to help out in the community for financial assistance and any comprehensive protection that small businesses might need. So that's another way that I did. So that I found that you can give. So I went over a lot. I went over a lot of why we should be doing this, what is the benefit, as well as the hows, how you can support a small business, whether it is by financial means or non-financial means. I hope that you took some of these things. If you've got ideas, again, I'm not seeing all the comments come up here, but if you've got ideas of how you're doing it, please share it with others. I do think that we've got to keep giving back to our own economy if we're going to get through this together. So some of the takeaways that I just want you to remember is, number one, get creative and pivot. Get creative in using technology to educate, to learn, to inspire, whether it's reaching out to having, a happy hour. I've had people get together on a Zoom call and have happy hour together because you can't go and sit down in restaurants. Gym workouts, things like that. Be creative. My daughter's performing arts organization that she's a part of, they got creative, and for a whole week, they're having people post things from home to keep the kids inspired to use their talents and to get out there on social media. So be creative, and then again, be thankful and positive. There are a lot of people putting things out there now. I've seen a lot of people tear each other down and try to discredit them or maybe judge them for their decisions during this time, whether they're closing, whether they're not closing, whether they're traveling, whether they're not traveling, things like that. Just be thankful that we all have each other and that we are alive, and try to stay positive for people. Encourage people that whatever they're putting out there, because there's going to be a lot more, social media and videos and whatever it is, reaching out, people that crave, this contact with other people. Help them be positive and encourage them to continue to do that. And the last thing that I want you to remember is, if you see an idea to help out somehow, share it out. Whether it is an article that says that there are these students that are going to provide tutoring for free, whether it's an article of another university that is offering a course for free. I've had psychologists that come on my neighborhood app and say, hey, if anybody needs some help, contact us. So anything that you're seeing, any idea, I want to encourage people to share it out. And again, I want people to really remember the small business during this time, because it's super important that we support each other, love each other, and that we all get through this together. So thank you so much for tuning in to my show today. I will be back next Monday, 5 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you like this, share it out. Go to my YouTube channel and follow me and turn on your notifications. And I will see you next Monday. All right. Bye-bye.